Time for another concert calendar. This time we're coming to you from the Oakwood in Midtown. Always big thanks to them for providing us with a place to record. And we're with the most in-demand musician in Tokyo, foreign musician that is, Mr. Kaleb James. How you doing, Kaleb?
Oh, that's a boatload. That's a boatload of something. I don't want to say what, but that's a boatload of something.
It's been a while, and we're doing this audio only because we like to chat a bit, and I know that you like to talk about music, so we're just going to keep this as an audio podcast this time. Huh?
Harumph?
Huh? Harumph?
Music? Chat? Moi?
We're going to do a countdown of your top 5 concerts that are coming to Japan, coming to Tokyo, Japan.
Trust that, it'll be 5.
And you brought a guest with you, and we'll introduce her in just a moment because she has not only an album, but she has a gig coming up.
Yeah.
But before we get to a countdown of your top 5 concerts, I want to talk with you about a couple of things that are going on. First off, you have a gig coming up this weekend with Nathan East, right?
Yes, Nathan East and the Band of Brothers will be performing at the Tokyo Seaside Festival this year. It's going to be nice.
Of course, Nathan East is famous for being the bass player for...
Oh, gosh, man, you name it. He's played with them. Michael Jackson, Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, Kenny Loggins... Oh gosh, Babyface. I mean, that list is just scary. Foreplay, his own band, Foreplay, and they'll be performing. The show that we're doing, the festival we're doing, is going to be a big family get together. Actually, it's going to be the Nathan East Band of Brothers, which is myself, and a whole host of crazy, wonderful, gifted musicians, worldwide guys like Michael Thompson and James East, the great and wonderful Steve Ferrone on drums, who's another legend in his own right, and of course Sumitomo Norihito on iwi and keyboards, and our man, you understand, his name is Jack Lee on guitar, Korean god, and the show is also going to host his own band, the Jack Lee Band. They're going to be performing there as well, along with the Bob James Trio.
And this is going to be where?
The Tokyo Seaside Festival happens in Odaiba on October 8th, 9th, and 10th. We're going to use this whole holiday weekend that's happening. 8, 9, 10, that's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's going to be really something else. It's going to be a great show.
And what's the ticket price?
The ticket price, I think it starts somewhere around like 5,000 yen. And it's an outdoor festival. So, we're going to be up there with the elements, so it's going to be like a picnic-type vibe. And some of the other artists performing there, Tatsuya Ishii, you know that guy from Kome Kome Club?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's going to be performing with us, too. It's going to be a great gig, man.
What kind of music are you going to be playing? What will you guys be playing? You have any song titles you can tell us about?
Well, there's Nathan's original tunes, some of the stuff that he's done them over again, stuff he did with Foreplay, like Eastbound 101. Mm-hmm. And there's a few covers of some Stevie Wonder tunes that he's done, with Stevie Wonder actually performing on the versions, on Nathan's versions. That would be Overjoyed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we're doing, I think, one of the baddest arrangements of Sir Duke ever.
You guys do the long version, right?
We do the long version of it, but man, what Nathan did with it is just awesome. He's a wonderful producer too, by the way. He's just
he's a pilot. He's also he can fly airplanes.
Yes,
and recently he's been jetting all over the USA together with his son.
Yeah, that's
doing
right.
Concerts.
That's right. He's been jetting around with his son Noah, who's a great pianist, and he's on Nathan's album as well. Did a duet together.
That's
the song Yesterday, he played bass and his son played piano. I mean, but the whole family is just loaded with crazy talented people. Everybody in the band is involved in music in some ways. Brother David, James, there's of course Nathan, and he has a sister, and their children are all getting into it now too.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's just just a wonderfully talented family, and I have a great time playing with these guys. It really is a band of brothers too. It's just a great family vibe. I'm gonna have a wonderful time. You guys should come out and check it out.
Do you think a band of brothers will perform for our President Obama, before he goes out of office? Because, of course, Nathan has performed for Obama before, right?
Yeah, a number of times. He's been to the White House a number of times, and he post the videos, and they're just like, you got to be kidding me. Guess what I did this weekend, These shots, and I don't mean it's like 50 people in the room, and in this shot, it's like him and like 7 other people just sitting there chilling with the first family.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing thing. I'd love to perform for President Obama. I was just saying today that, he's been in office for 8 years, and I think this would have been the first year I would have wanted to go do one of those White House tours.
He grew up in Hawaii, went to Punahou High School, and when he was in high school, he used to listen to a radio program.
By who? Whose radio program did he listen to?
Some guy named Kong, Kamasami Kong. Something.
What? Oh, come on.
Tomesode Kong.
Come on, man. That name's not real.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Come on.
Yeah.
But he was definitely he's a Hawaiian. He's a Hawaii guy.
Yeah, he is not from Africa.
No. He's Hawaiian. And if I'm not mistaken, Hawaii is part of the US of A.
Now, you were talking about your gig with Nathan East, but you also have another gig coming up with Shanti, one of our favorite singers here in Japan.
That's right, my girl Shanti. We're going to be doing a great gig together. It's Shanti, myself, and Masako Hama, the guitar guy, the badass Masa. We're doing a show up at Blues Alley on October 14th.
She did an album of covered Japanese songs that she translated into English, and she has one song on there that rips me up.
Yeah.
It's called Boku wa Toho ni Soshite Kureru.
Oh, they used to rock that in the clubs back in my neighborhood. You couldn't get a party started without that tune, man. If you didn't put that up, you weren't a DJ.
Speaking of parties, recently you did another concert at Blues Alley, a tribute to Maurice White.
Yeah. That was the gig, man. I mean, what a gig, and a great band. You got to give it up for them, man. We really knocked out a wonderful array of wonderful arrangements. And whenever you do those kind of gigs for that kind of artist, you're just scratching it. We could do a month of gigs, that honor Maurice White and never repeat a song.
I had a chance to go to that gig, and I was seriously impressed. You guys knocked it out of the park. Each and every song was fantastic.
Yeah.
And very true to the original version. I was very, very impressed.
Yeah, we covered the bases pretty well, and it wasn't an Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute, which was very important to steer clear of. It was easy to fall into that. It was not an EWF tribute because Maurice White has covered so many bases with lots of artists. So we touched on it. We, again, just scratched it.
Yeah.
We only did a few tunes of a few of the artists that he's produced.
Now, my friends in Osaka are asking, why didn't you take the show to Osaka as well?
Yeah, your friends in Osaka, they don't work for a bank or anything, do they? Because that'd be the only thing keeping us from coming and, taking this bad boy on the road. I'd love to come out there, and I know Osaka would, everybody, the stuff that we do on those tributes, it's just good music, and who doesn't like good music, being played by real live musicians, real live music. The true stuff, but the only problem is taking the show on the road. My band Dark Matter's done it a few times. We've gone out to other cities and done our original music, but it takes work, and we're our own sponsors, and it takes money to take this thing out, and unless you have some help with that.
So you would welcome a sponsor? Without
a doubt. If somebody's willing to bring us out there, and we can definitely, we can go low maintenance. Because, we have a band full of singing musicians. So,
all right, so if you love music and you're in the Osaka area, if you'd like to bring a great band to Osaka, get in contact with Kaleb.
Not just Kansai, Kyushu, Aichi, you name it, baby. I never met a prefecture I didn't like.
According to our friend, the Soul Searcher, Masaharu Yoshioka, he always puts posts up about the passing of artists. And recently, we just lost Rod Temperton, who has been responsible for writing some of the greatest songs of all time. Care to name but a few?
Oh, gosh, man, you'd be here all day. I mean, he's responsible for half the tunes on Michael Jackson's Off the Wall and Thriller album. I mean, some of the best stuff you've heard. Lady in My Life, Rock With You, Off the Wall, the song Off the Wall, and of course, the one and only Thriller. He wrote Thriller.
Yeah, truly an amazing.
But again, we're considering, we heard about it just, today or just not too long ago, and we're already considering doing a tribute show for Rod Temperton. But to be honest, we've already kind of done one because we've already done a Michael Jackson tribute, we've done a Quincy Jones tribute, we've done a George Benson tribute. These are all artists, Love Times Love and Give Me the Night, written by Rod Temperton. We've kind of already done a tribute for him. If we do one specifically for him, I guess the only inclusion would be Heat Wave.
Boogie Nights.
There we go. It would have turned into a party, man. It would be Boogie Nights and Groove Line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Groove to Get Down, and of course, Ain't No Half Stepping. We'll go on and on. I mean, Rod Temperton, we've truly lost something special there. Rod Temperton, he was the man, and I think he's going to go down definitely as one. He's right up there. He's right up there with Cole Porter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sondheim and rest of our modern day, composers. Yeah, he's definitely been in there for decades now. Rest in peace.
All right. Kaleb James is our very special guest, and you brought a guest of your own. Would you like to introduce your friend?
I brought a very, very special guest. She beats me on a very. I'm still working on that. This is a wonderful performer and writer and producer who I've worked with. How long have we been working together? We've done stuff first time we were together was, last millennium? Has it been?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely been over.
ago.
It's definitely been over a millennium.
Feels
But
like it.
this is my girl. She's a wonderful keyboardist and vocalist and an artist, and I do mean as in painting. She's had her own shows and her own showings. She's just an amazing creative thing in all ways. So please say hello to my really good friend, the lovely and talented Julianne.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say after all of that. Thank you.
Well, Julianne, you have a concert coming up soon, a gig, right? Tell us when and where and what can we expect to see and hear?
On Wednesday, the 12th of October at Crawfish. I don't know how you say that in an American accent.
Yeah.
How's
Say
it?
crawfish. No, that'd be you guys.
That's Australian trying to be American, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you say it so that the Americans know what I'm talking about.
Crawfish.
Okay, and so that the Aussies and Brits understand, I'll say crawfish. It's a crawfish.jp.
Here in Japan, we call it a zarigani.
Oh, well, just to throw things in the works. Thank you. I'm not going to spell that one.
Okay, well, tell us what we can expect to see and hear, some of the songs that you'll be performing.
We're going to do basically all of my originals. Well, not all of my originals, but all of the songs will be my originals.
And we'll listen to one of your originals coming up at the end of this podcast.
Okay, cool. And I've got a fabulous band, kick-ass musicians, wonderful people. If you'd like to know their names, we have Andy Bevan, who plays sax, didgeridoo,
Ooh, Andy.
flutes, and
Bad cat.
various other little bits and pieces. We have Hank Nishiyama, who's a wonderful guitarist.
Yeah, Hank's Hank's my guy too.
Yeah, he's only recently been working together, but he just kind of just has a natural feel.
Isn't he great?
Yeah, he's got a natural feel to what I'm doing.
Yeah, Hank's a wonderful guitarist.
Yeah, he's lovely. And we have Jeff Curry on bass.
Electric and upright, and I'm glad he's free. I think his main gig was doing the Hyatt for a long time, and I'm glad he finished that contract and he's out playing about and letting folks hear how really, really good he is.
And then we have the percussionist extraordinaire, Mr. Andy Matsukami.
Andy the Animal. Andy the Extra Special. You thought you're very, very.
Yeah, right.
He's got us both beat.
I tell you, Andy steals the show.
Yeah.
Just visually, if I was in the audience, I wouldn't be watching me, I'd be watching him.
And again, your show is going to be at Crawfish. What's the date and what time does the show start? And how much are tickets?
Okay. 12th of October, we start at 8, doors open at 7. Only 2,000 yen, it's a steal.
All right. Kaleb, time to get to your top 5. We start at number 5 and work our way to number 1. What's your number 5 concert suggestion for the near future?
I'm going to say number 5, we're going to go back old school, back to the 80s when they debuted, and they don't come to Tokyo too often, but I'm glad they're going to be here. That's De La Soul.
De La Soul. Remind us the titles of some of their songs.
Me, Myself, and I. Hey, how you doing? Sorry you can't get through. Why don't you leave your name and your number, and we'll get back to you.
So true to the original version, too.
Thank you.
All right. Shall we move on to number 4?
I gotta give you the dates.
You got more? Okay.
Yeah, I gotta give you the date. They're doing Billboard Live Tokyo on October 17th and 18th. And get your tickets for that one quick because it's gonna be a fat show.
Will they be in Osaka, Billboard Live as well?
Probably, but I didn't get those dates down. But it's usually around the same time.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, definitely.
Number 4.
A star Atlantic Star.
I thought you were going to say Ringo Starr.
Yeah, that's another guy. This is Atlantic Star. Atlantic Star is going to be that Billboard Live as well. And, you know, Atlantic Star has a lot of hits, you know, a lot of great tunes, but I think the jewel in the crown for Japan is the one and only, you know. You know it. We all know it. You can't swing a dead bride without hitting it.
A dead bride. Swinging
Yeah.
a dead bride.
You can't-
That sounds like a name for a group. Swinging a dead
Swinging
bride.
a dead bride. I mean, this girl just would not stop dancing, you know.
This is the father-daughter dance, right?
Yeah. This is the father-daughter dance. Yeah.
At the weddings,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You got to
It
play
is.
this song.
You got to play this song. The song is Always. You got to do it, man. I mean, that once they play that, they can just come play Always and get good night, folks, and that'd be the end of it. And they'd be like, encore, do.
What's your favorite lyric in that song?
Oh gosh, my favorite lyric. Oh gosh. Oh man, I could go on and on with it.
Come on, just one lyric. Julianne, what's your favorite lyric in that song?
Girl.
That's a lyric.
Girl, you are to me.
No, blah, 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 blah. She didn't say all that. She said girl. There's no reason to pad it. I mean, girl's what she likes.
Not girl, but girl.
Girl. No, mine would be, ooh, you're like the sun chasing all of the rain away. I mean, damn. That's
deep.
I've dated some pretty high class honeys, but you're like the sun that chases all the rain away. I mean, phew, I gotta bring her out. Wake up, sweetie, wake up, wake up. It's raining and I gotta go to work.
Let's go make a family.
Yeah, let's go make a family. But anyway, they're going to be at Billboard Live. They're going to be hitting it a lot. Billboard Live on October 24th and 25th. 2 shows a night. You know how it works down at Billboard Live. And it's going to be, and not just that, they have lots of great tunes. It's going to be a great show. I have a lot of respect for these guys. Atlantic Star is still around, so come on, check them out.
Speaking of Billboard Live, Ray Parker Jr. was just here, and of course, you know, his song Ghostbusters is being resurrected in this new movie, Ghostbusters 2.
Resurrected, my God. I think the movie was built around the damn song.
You know, actually, I think that's true. I asked Ray, I said, is this putting any coin in your pocket?
You know, that would have been my question. What did he say?
He, just a big smile, just a big giant smile, and he said, you know it.
Well, I mean, look, listen, man. The moment they announced that the movie was going to come out, they had the promo for it, you know, the trailer for it. On the trailer, they interpolated. You know, interpolate just simply means they used a piece of a song so that you know what the song is.
Right.
You know, the key hook or whatever. In this promo, and you can still find it online, they used the song Ghostbusters 4 different ways.
Wow.
And I counted it because I was like, is there any connection to the original, to the movie, other than this damn song?
Yeah.
I mean, really, if he's not getting paid for it, then something's wrong with the universe. Because I think, honestly, the movie, the only connection to the original is Ray Parker's Ghostbusters.
The song sells the movie,
Yeah, it really does.
and I understand that Huey Lewis is not too happy about that. He said, damn, I want a new drug.
Good one. Good
You know
connect.
that, right?
Well, I think there was probably a buyout. Now, I think it's one of those situations where they showed up, you know, they went to Huey Lewis's people, you know, Ray's people went to Huey Lewis's people with a suitcase or 2 and opened it up and said, enough cheddar for you? And said, good. And that was the end of it.
Yeah, because
I don't think it was an ongoing, no, for as long as you ever use that song, I think they just bought it out like, here's a big piece of money, and this is the end of it. And not knowing that this bad boy was going to take us into a new millennium.
Yeah. And, you know, they weren't supposed to talk about the deal. It was supposed to be completely silent, right? Yeah. But unfortunately, for Huey Lewis, he went on MTV and he talked about it. And so Ray Parker had to sue him over that.
Wow, I did not know that, really. So it was one of those take it and hush up.
Right.
It was
another suitcase of money for Ray.
Yeah, well, the suitcase went toward Huey Lewis the first time, but
this time,
he probably got one. Got a satchel back because it's like, you got a big mouth.
You know, the interesting thing about Ray Parker when he comes to Tokyo, do you know what he does in his free time?
I could make some guesses.
Okay, go ahead.
Probably be wrong.
Okay, Julianne, would you like to guess what Ray Parker does in his free time when he comes to Tokyo?
Eat sushi?
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Classical Japanese answer, right? Plays golf? Nah. Goes and sees good local music?
all right. Caleb, your turn.
I would say karaoke.
No.
Or-
you would
or
you would never guess.
My next one would be, and this is probably wrong, but I'm going to throw it out there, bowling.
That's a little bit closer.
Wow.
Because it begins with a B.
Okay, not sure where that one's going.
Boating.
Not boating. You're in the B area. I know
Here, what is it?
our listeners are trying to guess right now too. Bicycling. He has a bicycle. He keeps a bicycle here in Tokyo. So every time he comes, he likes to go out and ride around the city. And according to Ray, he said he knows Tokyo better than he knows his home in Los Angeles.
Is that right?
Of course, he's from Detroit, but he lives in Los Angeles now, and he says he knows Tokyo better than Los Angeles.
Well, you know who else is like that?
Who's that?
Nathan East.
He has a bicycle. I thought he has a Maserati here.
Oh, probably that too. But he's definitely got a bicycle. There's a few guys, I think, who keep a bicycle for him here because he rode to our show in Osaka and also here in Tokyo. He rode back and forth. And if I'm not mistaken, he got onto the stage when we were in Osaka, if I remember correctly, he rode the bicycle through the Blue Note audience. And that's how he got onto the stage. He didn't just come. We were on stage waiting for him, and he rode through if you can imagine riding a bicycle through the Blue Note, he did it. That's how much he digs cycling. I got a whole band of health conscious guys. The band of brothers. I'm the only one who's sloughing off. Everybody else is really in great shape in that band. They're wonderfully inspirational.
Okay, we are doing the top 5 countdown. We got to number 5, De La Soul. Number 4, Atlantic Star. And who is your number 3 pick?
Well, that's a cheap trick.
Huh?
That's a really cheap trick. I just heard what you did. That's a cheap trick. That's a cheap.
Do we need a ba-dum-bum?
Ba-dum-bum?
Yeah.
Cheap Trick, baby.
Ba-dum-bum, baby.
Cheap Trick is coming back to Japan, baby. They're going to be doing Studio Coast on November 16th.
What do you like about Cheap Trick?
I like everything about them. They're real cats. They really, really play. I like the band is great. Great musicians. Great vibe, and they don't do asshole things. You know, they're rockers, and they come out and they play good music, they play good stuff, but you never hear about them in the news doing dumb shit.
What would you consider dumb shit or asshole things?
Well, you don't hear about...
Bands do.
I don't believe, I can probably, if I research this, I'd probably find something, but I don't think I've ever heard about Cheap Trick, throwing TVs out of hotel windows.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Wrecking the backstage,
So no cheap tricks.
No cheap tricks. Just good musicians. That's as cheap as their tricks get. Great singing, great playing, good songs, just good musicians. And I really appreciate that.
You know what I hate when I go to a concert?
What's that?
I hate it when they say, "Do you like rock and roll?" And then they follow that with, "I can't hear you."
You know why? Because I've been playing rock and roll all my whole life, and I've got a heavy case of tinnitus. So if you don't mind, can you please repeat your answer?
Do you like rock and roll?
Do you like rock and roll? You're going to have to say that louder.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear them say that with a little bit more desperation.
It would be great if the audience just once said, "Yes, you did." Just all at once. 3, 2, 1. Yes, you did.
Moving on from Cheap Trick, your number 3, to your number 2 pick, Kaleb James.
Yeah?
Yeah?
What?
Not
Yeah.
another Cheap Trick.
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Who's on first?
Okay, I'll let this one go. Folks, Yes is coming back to Japan.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. And they're gonna be doing a great run. I always love Julianne's laugh. She has a great laugh.
I was going to get the microphone right for it.
I always love Julianne's laugh. She has a great laugh. They're going to be back in town, and they're going to be doing a nice run. They're going to be doing, and they always split it up really, really good because they do a nice run, then they take a break, and they do a nice run again. They're going to be at the Bunkamura Orchard Hall, Bunkamura Orchard Hall on 21st and 22nd. Take a few days off, come back, and do the 28th and 29th, which means they're probably going to go to a few other cities and do, the orchard halls and the public halls in those cities too.
How old are those guys now?
Oh gosh, man! I mean, they're getting close to Methuselah zone.
Methuselah.
Methuselah lived 900 years.
I heard they were even mentioned in the Bible. The Old Testament.
A number of times. Yes, it is good, my Lord. I've heard it many times.
All right. Kaleb, moving on, I want to hear your number one pick, but there are so many other artists coming to Japan. So before we go to your number one, who else would you like to mention?
I want to mention really, really quick. I think these are some folks that need great mentions because they don't come too often, but I mean, it's worthy. One of them is just going to smell so funky. It's going to be so stinky up in here. George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. Now,
Will they be wearing their diapers on the stage?
come on, man, they still make them, so you got to wear them. You know, if you make them diapers, they will wear them. That's my the guys. You know, Gary Scheider and I mean, it's George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, bringing the mob with them, and trust me, it's fun just looking at the members list.
Well, there's
no shit. About 18 of them going to be on the
yeah.
stage. It's great.
How do
It's
they
great.
divvy up the paychecks at the end of the gigs? How do you guys do it in your band?
Evidently, he uses a grater. He uses a grater. Yeah, he just takes a lump of money and goes fucka. Because that's the only way to split up whatever they're paying Billboard into 18 different members. But it is a great gig. I mean, you are going to be humping and bumping all night long to see that gig. It's going to be November 29th and 30th at Billboard Live Tokyo, and I think my other honorable mention is one a show you really, really should not miss. You should not miss this. Everybody was talking about it last year when she was here, and it's a reason that you should make it down, and that's the one and only class of her own, Layla Hathaway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back to George Clinton for just a moment. Because I love his show, too.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. He puts on a great show.
Okay, we'll go do culture, but we got to get back to Layla because I got to tell you what she's doing.
Will they be doing Maggot Brain?
Of course, they got to do that.
They got to do that.
They got to do Maggot Brain. It's a classic. It's it's one of their hails. You know.
All right, getting back to Layla.
Layla Hathaway, man. She's going to be doing Blue Note Tokyo again on December 10th and 11th and the 12th. And last year, it's Layla Hathaway. She's never, I know she probably would disagree with this, but she's never done a bad show. You're not going to come away from that show thinking, meh. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. She has a great band. She is one of the best musicians you'll ever hear. She is an instrument. And no better example, people like her and Diane Reeves and Lisa Fisher are exemplary of what it's like to be the human instrument. Yeah. And she represents it absolutely. That is not a show to be missed. Try to make it down there to that gig. It's going to be amazing. You will not be disappointed.
Again, when and where?
It's going to be Blue Note Tokyo on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And so there's still time to make it. Get those tickets.
All right, and that's your top five.
Well, no.
You have more?
I have the five, the jewel in the crown. Those were the honorable mentions.
Okay.
Here's the one.
All right.
You know what's coming up. You know what's like.
I'm guessing.
Back. Jeff Beck.
Jeff Beck.
Jeff Beck is coming back to Tokyo.
Huge signs for his concert all over the subways here in Tokyo, right?
Because he's a good-looking guy.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
What's your favorite Jeff Beck song?
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. My favorite Jeff Beck tune. Let me run.
Hum it. Da 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 da. That's you're not going to figure it out from there, but
Can you name that song? What song was that, Kaleb?
I don't know.
da 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 da, and it starts da 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 da. There's this little intro like that goes on.
Okay, well, that was insightful.
Yeah, it was.
You wanted to hear that, right?
Yeah, no, it sounded good to me. I'd like you to continue it for a while. No, man, but Jeff Beck, I'll tell you, I went to a Jeff Beck concert for the first time about 8 years ago. And I went, it was just a fluke. A good friend of mine, Vinny Caliuta, was walking through Tokyo. I saw him and I said, hey, how you doing? And we just, we didn't know we would be there in that particular spot, but he happened to be walking through, I think, Roppongi Hills. And I said, what are you doing in town? He says, I'm playing with Jeff Beck. Come on up to the show. And I did. And it was my first time, of course, I've heard about, him being a guitar god. People like to throw these terms around. They do it too much. It takes the momentum out of the meaning when you throw these wonderful, fantastic, incredible. But I'll tell you, this is what it is about Jeff Beck. When you see him perform, you realize what it is that everybody else was trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing about Jeff Beck. That guitar hammering thing that Eddie Van Halen does, you hear him play and you go, that's where it comes from. That's what they're trying to do. When you hear guys bending the notes and doing the tones, you go, that's where, when you hear guys doing the overtones, playing chords and playing solos with overtones, just the overtones, you go, he's where it comes. That guy is the root. And he doesn't, he's doing, I didn't tell you where, he's going to be doing Pacifico in Yokohama on January 25th. And he's doing Tokyo International Forum, Hall A, the huge one, 5,000 seats. You know, we've
been there. We've been to the James Brown concert and your concert there.
My concert,
your Christmas concert,
our gig
right?
there. He's going to be doing that on the 30th and 31st of January as well. He should. He should. He does not. He's too big for the clubs. He needs a hall because you should go down and hear what a guitar player is supposed to do. Not a lot of guys like that. And I'll give it to, I want to mention some names of some guys that get the same accolades. They just don't measure up. Jeff Beck is in a class all his own.
And then after the concert, you can go eat at the brand new Shake Shack in Tokyo Forum. There's
the Shake Shack in
Shake
Tokyo
Shack,
Forum?
there's a brand new one there.
There?
Yeah.
Interesting spot to put it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So after the concert, ice cream or burgers,
Yeah.
they've got some great ice cream treats there.
Okay, here we go.
'Cause We've Ended as Lovers is my
Ended, that's
favorite
right.
Jeff Beck song.
It's a great ballad, one of the best.
Written by Stevie Wonder.
That's right. That's right. And you know why?
Why is that?
Because he was supposed to give him superstition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But he did Ain't Superstitious with Rod Stewart, right?
He did it, but Stevie was supposed to give it to him, and Stevie heard it and went,
I think
and kept it for himself.
Yeah,
kept it for himself. And Jeff was a bit put out. So he said, you know what, I'm gonna give you something that's gonna be just yours, and gave him a classic.
Absolutely.
But what do you? Written by a master, performed by a master. You cannot go wrong. And it's become one of the best tunes ever to do. It's one of the best ballads ever. It's a beautiful tune. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Tune. Yeah.
Speaking of Jeff Beck, do you remember the group that he started with?
Was it the Yardbirds?
The Yardbirds.
Was it the Yardbirds? It was the Yardbirds.
Together with Eric Clapton.
With Eric Clapton. There was a few, but man, that group's had so many incarnations, and I believe they're coming back here again.
Oh, that's what I wanted to lead you into.
Okay.
Yeah. Yardbirds are coming back to Tokyo.
That's right.
They're going to wheel them in wheelchairs.
Get her laugh. Julia, she's the best laugh. I love her laugh.
No, actually, they have a lot of new members, but they're going to be playing all the songs.
And that brings us to our IV sponsors.
Or diaper sponsors. Speak for yourself. We're not too far away from that.
Speak for yourself. Speak for Yourself Productions.
Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton used to be in the Yardbirds, but there's only one original member left. That's the drummer. And they're going to be coming into the Cotton Club October 22nd and 23rd.
Wow.
That'll be a concert I do not want to miss because, back in the 60s, when I was in my teens, that was my music, man.
Wow.
That was my rock and roll music back in the days. Over, under, sideways, down, backwards, forwards, all around.
Whoa. Man, so they were doing exercise and workout theme songs back then.
Yeah.
They were really ahead of their time.
They were doing that and probably way too much drugs.
Caffeine.
Caffeine, of course.
Caffeine.
Yeah,
It'll kill you.
Kaleb James, thank you very much for joining us here on The Kong Show. This has just been a talk session talking about music. We should do this more often.
We should do it more often. But you know what? Before we go, can you speak a little bit with Julianne about her artwork? Because when you get her album, this album, she did all the artwork on this album. She hand painted all this stuff. And I mean, if you just got the album and threw away the CD, just to enjoy the work. It's really incredible. She's an incredible artist overall.
All right, well, why don't we play a song from your album, Julianne? What would you like to... Well, please introduce whatever you'd like. And Kaleb, just want to say thanks to you. Thank you for joining us here on The Kong Show.
Always a pleasure.
All right, let's get to your song, Julianne. Introduce something for us.
Okay, let's do the Song of the Land, which is the first track on there. And what would I say about it? Well, I think Let It Speak for Itself. I kind of wrote it when I left Australia. I used to live in the Blue Mountains near Sydney, and it was about the landing in Tokyo and feeling a little bit inundated with all the concrete jungle and the people and everything. And let's see, we have a few exotic instruments in there as well, because the whole album has a bit of a world flavour, peppered with nice exotic sounds. But everything's pretty much acoustic. We don't have any sequences in there. Might have a little bit of synthesizer occasionally, but everything else is a non-electronic instrument in the whole album. So there you go. Hope you enjoy it.
The land and I, we said goodbye. The truth will show where I must go. The rolling hills, those hazy afternoons, taste of dusty red rose on the land that I used to know. Exotic shore, too much urban sprawl, boxed up inside. How will we survive? Let's rise above this. We'll sail into the sunset through twisted cities to the land where we're meant to go. Sometimes it's tough, but we are enough. New land in sight. Let's lead the double life, where high rise it gives away, becomes mountain day. Fly away. We'll sail into the sunset, scour horizons for the land where we're meant to go. Sometimes it's tough.
Music there by Julianne.
Song of the Land.
Julianne, thank you very much for joining us here in the Kong Show. And remind us about your gig, when and where again?
Okay, thanks, Kong. It's next Wednesday, the 12th of October at Crawfish, Akasaka, crawfish.jp. We start at 8 o'clock. Fabulous band. Should be a great night. Only 2,000 yen. Come along.
All right. Kaleb, last word is yours.
Oh, well, you know, as it always goes, folks, this is where you come to get a breast and a thigh of everything that's happening in Tokyo, everything that's cool. So, you know how it is. Here at the one and only KONG, Kong Show, WKONG, the Kong Show. That's coming soon, right?
On the Japan Today.
On the Japan Today website, WKONG, the Kong Show.